Hey guys! Welcome to The Hunt. Today, Mekla is not with us, but I have with me Varsha, who is working with the Urban Slender Loris project. And today we're here to talk about urban ecology and basically what we have around us.
So when we think of the word city, the first thing that comes to our mind is huge roads, a lot of traffic, really big buildings and malls, and of course the pollution and garbage. But it's so interesting to see that cities are home to a plethora of animals and a lot of wild animals. So this study of wild animals in such a man-made environment in a city is what urban ecology is.
So the rapid urbanization that we see around us and cities just gobbling up all the green patches around, it is very important for us to acknowledge and understand that we share even the city with a lot of wildlife. So Varsha, can you tell us more about the Slender Loris?
Yes, so Slender Loris is really interesting creature. It's an animal that belongs to the order of primates. So it's the same order that monkeys and even us humans belong to. So this animal is primarily nocturnal and it's only active in the night, and it lives on the trees and it loves canopy continuity. That means you should have these big trees with a huge coverage of canopy for this animal to be able to live happily. And cities also can provide such an habitat. So on the same lines, what we did is we wanted to understand how people in Bangalore connect to the wildlife around them.
We went around and spoke to people about the Slender Loris, which is a cute little primate that is found right here in the heart of Bangalore. And a lot of us don't even know that these little creatures exist.
So oral history is basically a tool for research where we try to understand what people think about the subject that we want to know about. So in this case, it's the Slender Loris in Bangalore. So we wanted to understand how people of Bangalore felt about Slender Lorises. We wanted to understand if people in Bangalore actually even knew what a Slender Loris was. Because as you mentioned, like a lot of people don't know about this creature because it's very elusive. It's very shy and it only comes out in the night when most of us are sleeping.
So an interesting thing that we actually came across is that a lot of people associate the Slender Loris with black magic and a lot of mystical things. Could you tell us more about that?
That's a really interesting question that you asked, and I also want to talk about it. Yes, a lot of people do associate Slender Loris with black magic, and a lot of people associate Slender Loris with being taboo. But the most surprising thing that we came across when we were conducting our study is nobody mentioned about any black magic association with the loris. Instead, they had a very cultural attachment towards the animal. So I could give you examples. So there was one really positive response about how people thought that Slender Loris was sacred because they thought that it protects children and infants. That's because if you look at a loris, it looks like a baby, a human baby. So people actually think that the loris protects their children.
That's really interesting because in Kannada, which is a local language of Bangalore, the Slender Loris is actually called Kadu Papa, which means the forest baby.
Exactly, exactly, right? But on the other hand, a very contrasting opinion one of the people told me was that if you hear a Slender Loris call, right, it will bring you a lot of misfortune and misery. So she also went on to tell me that one day she heard the loris call and 4 days later her husband passed away. And she thought it was because of the screaming loris that her husband passed away. And then there were a lot of other people right in between these two viewpoints who thought that Slender Loris is just an animal like any other animal around us, which stays on trees and they did not really have any association to it. So if you look in a city like Bangalore, which is a huge cultural melting pot of very, very different kinds of people, some people are educated, uneducated, who are from different classes, from different cultural backgrounds, and of course different genders, they all have a very different association with the loris. But the most important finding of the study is that every person has an association with the animal, and I think that is the most important sort of association there is.
So Varsha, what can people, like city people like us, do about protecting what we already have?
Yeah, so protecting what we have, but also protecting what we are very rapidly losing out. I think the first step and the basic step, it's not even a step, like the basic thing that every person in a city has to understand is that wildlife and nature is not something alien to us. It's not something that belongs to a forest or say something that belongs to outside the city. It is in the city and it has to be a part of our lives. Try to be more enthusiastic about your local parks. Take a walk. Try to not convert all of the just like say wild grown trees into completely concretized parks with pavements and street lights. Try not to do that. Enjoy nature how it comes. Don't try to like handle nature.
So Varsha, thank you for talking with me today and introducing us to this adorable, fascinating little creature, the slender loris, and its importance, and not just the slender loris, but every other animal that's sharing the city here with us.
Give a thumbs up for the Karu Papa.
Subscribe for more videos, and if there is anything that you would like us to talk about, let us know in the comments below. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.